Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to our Capital Sunday prep class for the week of April 27th, 2026. Today, we're going to be going over the geopolitical and macro alerts on Iran, China, and Ukraine over the weekend, a day-by-day economic overview, key events talking about FOMC, GDP, PCE, and Powell's press conference, and earnings scheduled before market open, after market close, day by day, and our market posture. Hello. So, going over Friday's close for April 2025, SPY closed at 713.94, QQQ closed at 663.88, and VIX closed at 1877. So, as of right now, as we stand, setups on the table, right? Big week ahead, a lot of stuff to look forward to.
This weekend macro alert, guys. We have the Iran diplomacy. This happened on Saturday. We have an our Iranian demands and reservations on U.S. demands. A bunch of Iran news. Trump canceled Witkoff and Kushner's Pakistan trip. Too much time wasted on traveling. Nobody knows who's in charge in Iran. We have all the cards. They have none. Iran received a fresh U.S. offer 10 minutes after the cancellation. Trump said it's better than not enough. We won't show Pakistan just to get a worthless document from Iran. So a lot of tension still there. A lot of
back and forth, just back and forth, BS manipulation. You know, that's his guys. Yeah.
No to ending this from what we can see. Right. A lot of uncertainty. I feel like is still in the market, especially after this weekend. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, minutes ago, there was news talking about, just with not being able to get the negotiation done. But yeah.
Oil blockade, crude flows. U.S. Coast Guard sees 380 million in Iranian crude in the Indian Ocean heading towards the U.S. Satellite imagery, $1.1 billion worth of crude returned to Iran after rapid U.S. Navy interdictions. U.S. Navy intercepted $1 billion in oil shipments back to Iran. Iran loads so a bunch more oil flows. Lebanon escalation. Now this is what I saw a bunch of over the weekend. Netanyahu instructs military to forcefully attack Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. And if I'm not mistaken, there was some kind of ceasefire agreement last week that looks like it's just completely blown out of the water right now.
Yeah.
Israeli forces blow up buildings in southern Lebanon. Air defense system sounds heard in Iran. Reason unknown. So still a lot of uncertainty going on in the Middle East. White House night. You guys heard that Trump, person armed with a shotgun, attempted to breach the White House press dinner. Everyone's safe. Incident won't deter me from winning the award. Another crazy headline. I don't really think that's going to have anything to do with the market. I mean,
wait, can they hear us? Can they hear us? A lot of y'all talking. You're muted. Can you guys hear us? Hold on. Can you guys hear both of us? It's Rich. I hear. No, bro. Yes, y'all good. I said that. Yo, Rich, leave and join back real quick. I hear you perfectly, but some people don't hear you. Cool?
Yo.
Yo. Y'all hear Rich now? Que sí. Alright. You're done with the slider?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So going over the news on Iran, guys. Iran FM arrives in Islamabad, Iranian state media. Trump said Iran war will soon end and we will be victorious, right? He said this earlier today. Then he also said if Iran wants to talk, they can call us. We'll do it by the phone. So they're not planning on meeting up in person anymore after yesterday's scare with the shots. He doesn't want to do any in-person things, especially in sending J.D. Vance out there for the last couple of weeks to negotiate. I think that he's probably going to pull him back too. And like he said right there, all through the phone. He also said some people were dealing with are not, right? So they're not able to come to a full agreement yet, even between the people in Iran, the people in power, right? So Araghchi left Pakistan for Moscow. Will meet on ceasefire and regional issues. So just more news between Putin and Pakistan, I guess. And then Iran FM Moscow meeting Putin on nuclear talks, ceasefire, regional developments, and also Trump will be interviewed 7 p.m. on CSB. That was around an hour ago. So he's probably said and talked some more. Then going over to the U.S. and trade, the U.S. and China trade talk. Trump said, "I'm not too disappointed in China. Could do more." So, as you guys can see, Trump is not happy, or not. He's not satisfied with what's happening on both ends, on war ends, and just making deals with whether it's with tariffs or whether it's with whatever decision making. There's still a lot of uncertainty, right? So. Then Trump also said China could have been far worse. Tones are as de-escalation signal. Taiwan stuck up 2% Friday. Risk on signal entering this week. Then going over to Ukraine and Russia news for Sunday. Trump is holding talks with both Putin and Zelensky on Ukraine ceasefire. That is still ongoing, right? So with the attacks going on the weekend, it's still in the talks, guys, right? So matter for our context. Iran situations are still live and escalating. Deal talks are broken. Talks broke down Saturday. FM now en route to Moscow. Any Hormuz flare equals instant VIX spike at open. Oil blockade data shows Iran actively moving crude around the blockade. Around 4 million plus barrels have been infiltrated. You guys saw that. Over $1 billion. $1.05 billion worth of oil was infiltrated by the U.S., right? So WTI remains volatile. Israel hitting Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, while Iran and U.S. talks compound risk. Watch VIX on Monday open. Right, we closed at around 18.70 for the VIX on Friday. I'm probably expecting us to open up above 20. Right, that's definitely reasonable. Maybe 21, 22. But it all comes down to what's happening during the headlines coming in. Right, we have a lot of news coming out. We have FOMC, we have a lot of earnings, a lot of Mag 7 names. So how are they going to work around this? How are they going to, make sure that there's still room for opportunity in this? They're not going to want to chop it all up, but we'll see, right? Going on to the next slide here, I'll just do these really quick. So for Monday, there's no economical news, right? Tuesday, we have news we have something here at 9 a.m. It's the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Then at 10 a.m. have consumer confidence. So what to watch for Tuesday? Consumer confidence headlines is 89.1 versus the previous 91.8. A miss here signals consumer stress under tariff/inflation pressure. Case-Shiller housing data from February likely still reflects pre-tariff dynamics, directionally useful for rate narrative going into FOMC Wednesday. Light day intentionally, markets will be positioned ahead for Wednesday's massive stack. So like we've been mentioning, the FOMC talks and the mega cap earnings, right? Going over to Wednesday here, we have a ton of news at 8:30, just a bunch of just economic reports, durable good orders from March, durable good housing starts, delayed. We're getting some delayed news from February. Building permits starts from March, building permits from advanced trade goods, advanced retail inventories, advanced inventories. So just a bunch of data sets dropping 1 hour before the market opens. Nothing that you guys really have to worry about. The big news here on Wednesday in the middle of the week, guys, is going to be at 2 p.m. EST, which is going to be 11 a.m. PST for all of my Cali cats. This is going to be the FOMC interest rate, the FOMC rate decision, right? So the forecast is no rate cuts, right? There's no really outlook for cuts happening, right? Powell press at 2:30. Then going over to Thursday here, we also have some more news at 8:30. A bunch of sets dropping. The important ones being GDP Q1 advanced and PCE index for March. Then we also have core PCE year over year, cost index, initial jobless claims, personal spending, and then 15 minutes into the market, we have Chicago Business Barometer PMI for April, and 30 minutes into the market, we have U.S. leading economy indicators. Nothing really too crazy after 10 a.m., guys. It's going to be a pretty chill day, especially with the earnings coming after the market closes, right? So for Friday, pretty light day as well. 15 minutes into the market open at 9:45 a.m. We have U.S. manufacturing PMI and ISM manufacturing. So ISM manufacturing forecast at a 52.9 with the previous being 52.7. Still above 50 equals expansion. A miss below 50 would be a significant flag station signal after a hot PCE Thursday. S&P manufacturing PMI, one of the strongest forward-looking reads. Watch for tariff impact commentary in this report. Light day-to-day by design. Let Thursday Apple GDP PCE dust claim or settle. Position sizing review and set up for next week. You want to go over the earnings here, my boy?
Yeah, let's do it because we got some big ones, man. We do have some nice, huge week in the earnings, guys. Huge earnings. We open with Verizon, ACMR, DPZ, all names before the open we look at. Verizon, it could be decent, but Monday before the open, nothing really, just some financial names, some banks, some retail, and Verizon. And yeah, after close we have some interesting ones are CDNS, NU, of course, the energy stock, a lot of big names, right? CDNS is a big tech stock, if I'm not mistaken, and it was up 5% on Friday, so definitely something. Look, if it's up 5% on Friday, the week before, or actually the day, I guess the trading day before earnings day. That's interesting, right? Definitely interesting. So a big tech name. Tuesday we open. We have some big names. UPS, Coca-Cola. These are UPS is a big one. Coca-Cola is obviously a huge consumer. GLW is very, very, very important for us. This is a optical name. Definitely going to give us more insight and kind of more could continue the narrative or could potentially disrupt the demand for the AI, for the photonic and the optical infrastructure within the AI ecosystem. On what GLD announces, and there's a lot of sympathies for that. AAOI, AXTI, LITE, COA, Spotify, another huge one. ECL, don't trade them. GLX won before, but definitely interesting on that. GM, interesting. Hilton, another one. And then close. We have five big ones. We have Robinhood, BE, Bloom Energy, which is a memory stock, TER, which is something in the AI ecosystem, Visa, and Enphase. Enphase is a solar, Visa is Visa. We know Visa is. So Tuesday after close is definitely going to be huge. STX, guys, if STX is good, it could be very bullish for MU, SNDK. SNDK does have earnings later this week. Tuesday, those are the ones we're going to want to look out for. I'm going to drop the list, obviously, when I'm done talking. Before the close, we have SoFi. This is a huge one. We have a lot of people who hold a lot of shares in SoFi. Bullish on this, bullish on everything. But SoFi, definitely a big one. Humana, HUS is definitely, or Humana, whatever it is, going to be big for UNH and for the Dow in general. So definitely interested on that. The Dow is lagging compared to the Nasdaq and the S&D and the S&P. CAR, the biggest short squeeze that I've seen since GME has earnings on Wednesday open. That's interesting. Regeneron, and nothing really before open that we like on Wednesday. After close on Wednesday, we have Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, QCOM. Oh my God. Huge names on Wednesday after close. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Google alone. Those are four Mag 7 names one fucking day. That's crazy. Huge. QCOM is another one that's a sleeper, guys. I was actually this earlier on my chart. This one's super beat down. A lot of room up on QCOM. So very interesting to see what they do. And as NVIDIA is running and front running the market and leading as NVIDIA is leading the semiconductors and the trippy, then QCOM could definitely move up. Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, these are huge telling earnings. So bullish on them. See what's going to happen. This is last quarter's earnings. So this is pricing in. This is kind of telling us about.
No, this is still Q1.
Okay, so these are going to be for Q4, correct?
No, I'm pretty sure they're January till April. Q1.
It is Q1 earnings. Okay, this is earnings. Okay, pardon me. This is earnings. So it's going to be huge for Microsoft, Google, and QCOM. It's going to be a very big week, guys. But like we said, Wednesday we have Jay Powell speaking as well, and this is one of Jay Powell's last time speaking, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. A lot of volatility, right? A lot of variables in this market in this week specifically. Tread very carefully as we're day trading. Going to go very light with the size compared to the last 2 weeks, how we've been attacking everything. And yeah, Thursday before the open, we have some big ones. We have Caterpillar, very big for the now. Valero, an oil stock. Wayfair, we have Lilly, Mastercard, Altria, Merck, Cigna. Cigna's in for UNH. So all the big Dow names on Thursday before the open, and then after close, we have Apple. We have SNDK. We have WDC. These are two SNDK WDC. These are two memory names. Very important to watch, guys. We've been trading MU. We have MU 50s on right now. Probably not gonna hold for until then, but likely gonna take some lottos on Thursday. Gonna look for some sympathy plays. SNDK is breaking all-time high. Made a new all-time high as I'm looking at it right now, trading at 10.12. MU trading at 5.02. Going to be interesting all week for these names. So we have Apple, huge name, another Mag 7. So we have another Mag 7 names, right, this week. Is that all of them? No, that's just 6 of them. Yeah, just 6 of them. We have Reddit, so another software name. Just another name. AXTI, which is another optical name. So interested in what AXTI says. A lot of sympathies, AAOI, LITE, COHR. GLW is going to be a sympathy as well. Can continue to run on that. We have Rivian, Riot. Riot's another one. The weekly looks fucking beautiful on. So definitely interested in this huge week going into the week. A lot of earnings. This is not the week to go crazy like we've been going. This is a huge earnings week, guys. We've been having a crazy high position size, 10, 20 contracts in our trades. We're going to size that down to like 2 to 3 to 5 contracts max this week, just because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Not really going to be swinging too much. And if we are swinging, got to be expecting zero. Got to be expecting for the opposite to happen, right? Because you have to risk what you can afford to lose in a week like this. Because if you're risking usual, $500, maybe risk $200. Because if you hit overnight and you have a play, you still make $800. That's a huge, great return, right? This market can give us crazy good returns, but we don't want to be crazy risky like we've been the last 2 weeks. So definitely keep that in mind. And those are this week's earnings, man. I'm definitely very excited this week plays out.
Facts.
What about you, Angel? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, yeah, bro. Huge week. I definitely think that we have, the last couple of weeks with all the nice momentum. That momentum can definitely continue with things being priced in before these earnings. I feel like the beginning of the week is going to show a lot of opportunity, and the end of the week is going to be the more tricky side, especially going towards that FOMC meeting. I think it's definitely going to be hard for some people to stay, but you just need to either learn how to sit in your hands, guys, or learn how to expect zero. We know that we run a 30% stop loss here, but this week really size accordingly, play to your account size, and yeah, I mean, same thing, bro. Huge earnings week, gonna be sympathy plays going into Thursday. Yeah. But going here into the ARC market posture. Bottom line, Wednesday's biggest single day of the year. FOMC at 2 p.m., Powell at 2:30 p.m. Then Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, all after market close. Iran is a wild card that can spike VIX at the open. Adds Apple, GDP, PCE. Students need to respect size, wait for confirmation, don't front run any of these events. Literally what we were just saying, guys. Don't try to predict what's going to go on. There's always going to be opportunity throughout the day. It's going to be relative weakness, whatever trend we're going in, and we're going to be there to catch it. So, FOMC Wednesday, market is not pricing in the cut. What matters is Powell's tone on Iran-driven inflation and stagnation risk. Fed is stuck. Warsh incoming chair, hawkish on rates and balance sheet. Watch for language shifts. So this is gonna be Powell's last appearance, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Andrew mentioned that before, which is gonna be interesting, guys. Let's see what he says. Let's see the tone that he brings in his last message to us, right? So GDP and PCE Thursday at 8:30 a.m. GDP Q1 forecast previous 0.5%, PCE forecast plus 0.7%, previous plus 0.4%. Core PCE year over year 3.2%. Fed stuck if PCE runs hot. Stagflation narrative strengthens. Hawkish outcome keeps VIX elevated. Apple under multiple pressures. Tim Cook stepping down and John Ternus becoming CEO. This is gonna pretty huge, guys. We already seen a huge reaction from that news these last couple of weeks. Was that either last week or the 2 weeks before that? Talking about how going into the more creative side of bringing new right. They're taking Tim out because Tim is really good at making products and making what they already have cheaper and better and sell more and just overall make them more money. With their new CEO John Turnus, they'll be able to have more of a creative outlook on their have some more innovations, something Apple hasn't had in the last couple of years, right? They tried it with those virtual reality glasses or whatever, the Apple glasses or whatnot, right? Um, but that simply wasn't a product, guys, right? Your everyday Joe wasn't gonna go buy, the $5,000 or $3,000 headset. So now they're gonna work on, making with this new CEO. And they're under scrutiny from U.S. tariffs and tax threats, threatened retaliation against UK for targeting Apple, Google, Meta reports from Thursday after markets. Then with tech mega cap earnings Wednesday after market close, Tesla beat big last week. Tech positive heading into Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, all Wednesday after market closed. Front run. Wait for confirmation setups post report, right? We also have to remember, guys, it's not just about how the report comes out, but also the guidance that these companies leave afterwards, right? The investors have a ton of questions. The investors, especially if they have like a bad earnings, right? Let's say they didn't make a lot of money this first quarter of the year. They're going to have to come up with an explanation on how they're going to make up for it for their investors for the next quarter. And if they can give provision on, let's say, the next year or two, with, let's say, them having contracts or investors or just little things like that, guys, right? Anything can these investors' eyes just more money into these things, right? So once again, don't try to front run it. Just try to focus on what happens afterwards. Then going over to WTI crude, the Hormuz wildcard at a near $95 on Hormuz fears, then pulled back on ceasefire extension. Situation remains the number one oil and wild card. Any escalation can gap VIX above 25 at the open, right? So we still have a lot of headlines that can come out, guys, throughout the day, even in the pre-market, right? We can have something come out right now, guys, that will have the VIX absolutely spike. With all the news that we've received in the last 2 days, just a whole lot of uncertainty. I mean, I would definitely think that the VIX is going to be a little bit mentioning earlier in the class, anywhere from like 21, 22, 23. Right? So, what to expect this week? Wednesday is the day. FOMC decision at 2 p.m., then Powell's at 2:30. Then Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Google all reporting after the bell. That is the most event-dense afternoon we've seen all year. Don't front run any of these. Tesla's big beat last week already priced in some of the optimism. We need to see how the market to each catalyst before entering anything. Iran stays our wild card all week. Any news on crude seizures, Hormuz, or breakdown talks can spike VIX fast. If VIX opens up at 25 plus at the open, we reduce size. Above 30, we sit out entirely unless the trend is very clear. Right, guys? So Thursday piles on with Apple GDP Q1 PCE all at 8:30 a.m. Respective confirmation first, then entries. Friday is light, dust settle, and set up for the following week. Facts. So let's go over to the charts here, Rich. You want to get your screen share going?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, brother. There you go.
1 second. All right, bet.
All right, whenever you're ready, brother.
All right. Hold on real quick. Where's the so for earnings, right? Let me just make the look quick. All right, so we have GLW. Okay. All right. So what charts do I have up here? STX, C, and SNEK. There's 3 things that I want to talk about. Actually, there's like 4 things I want to talk about. This is the first thing that we have. So all 3 of the stocks on the screen right here all have earnings. All right, all 3 of these stocks have earnings this week. So premium on them is going to be, look at this. Look at the premium on these contracts. So we are at 1020 right now. The 11.5 call is about $2,500. Just crazy overpriced, right? That's $150 out of the money. Just wild. Now, WDC, similar thing. We're trading at 404 right now at the close. And this week, a 450 contract, right? $45 out of the money is $850 roughly, right? $850 roughly. Way too overpriced. Way too far out of the money to be so expensive. STX, same thing. This is trading at 586. The 650 call is like 1350. 1350. That's crazy, right? That's what? From the close, that's $70, $75 from the close. Or $65 from the close. That's a lot. That's very far, and that's way too expensive. So, with that said, let's take a look at MU premium, right? Let's take a look at MU premium. MU premium. Why we're looking at MU premium?
Talk to him, guys. Talk to him. Why would he be looking at a stock in the same? Come on. What do we call that, guys? What do we call that? It starts with an S. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, there we go. Now, why is it a sympathy play? Basic questions. Why is it a sympathy play?
yeah. Donnie's like half the people right now.
In the same sector. They're memory stocks. Looking for someone to say memory. Memory. When you think about when someone says a memory stock, MU, SNDK, WDCF. That's it. There's more, but those are the four. Those are the best ones. So look at the MU premium. $50 out of the money on STX and WDC was thousands of dollars, right? $1,000, right? Think about RAM. When we say memory, think about RAM, right? Think about storage. That's what we mean by memory. All right, so look at this. We have the 550s, right? We are in the 550s right now. We bought them at I'm in them at 580. 580 is my trade price. They're trading break even right now. They're at 600 for your computer. Storage for your computer.
The more memory you have, the better your computer testing like multiple clumps of like information at the same time. All of AI and like anything that you do on a computer, let's say even like you're playing a game, the more things that you're doing at the same time, let's say you have a bunch of more memory your computer uses, right? So that's how memory is used in the AI infrastructure. We even went over this in one of our previous over the whole AI with the premiums.
All right, going back to what I was saying is, if we look, the money was for everything else was $1,000. Now MU $50 out of the money, right? $600, $500, $600. That's not bad. When everything else in the sector has earnings and you're bullish, why are we bullish, right? MU signing 5-year contracts, SNDK signing. This is telling you that there's serious are paying, and they don't mind paying for locking in 5-year terms. Those are very serious and good signs, right? Very bullish signs in a company. So I'm not going to be short when 3 of the memory stocks have earnings. And if I'm going to be long, I'm going to be looking for longs on MU, not any of the other ones, because I'm not paying an overpriced premium, right? I'm paying a normal premium. If it goes to shit and they all flop, okay. But you have WDC SNDK Thursday after close, and then you have X Tuesday after close. You have STX, right? So you have Tuesday and Thursday after close earnings. So Tuesday after close, you have STX that can move the memories, and then you have WDC and SNDK that is very well probably going to move the memory stocks, the whole sector. MU. Not saying to lotto everything, but we're bullish right now. Maybe we see the run into the earnings. We're already seeing SNDK push up. We're already seeing WDC push up and STX. Everything's gapping up. All the memories are gapping up. Maybe they're front running the move. Maybe they sell out during the earnings. All I know is we have 550 calls right now that we're looking to sell before the earnings, right? We're going to get out of our calls, and whatever we risk, if we do risk something going to earnings, we're going to risk profits. Has to be said, mandatory. If you're going to risk anything going into the earnings, you have to risk profits. That being said, that's the memory stocks. These are the memory sympathy plays, right? MU is going to be the main focus for the whole memory theme. This MU is all the we're gonna be playing. We're not gonna be looking to play SNDK. Don't hear people saying it, especially the premium members. I'm just gonna get tight. I'm not even gonna say anything to you. I'm just gonna get playing overpriced premium. You're looking for stupid content. Just play MU. If they're gonna move, they're gonna move in tandem, like we've been seeing last week and this week and whatever. That's memory. The second thing I wanted to talk about was we have earnings for GLW. We have earnings for what is it? AXTI. Hold on. Right? So these are photonic stocks. Now, what else do we have earnings for? AXTI, CLX, VIAV. This is another one that has earnings. So now all of these stocks, take a look at all of these on the daily time frames. All right, so we have all of these stocks have earnings this week. These are all optical and photonic stocks. All right, all very crucial in the AI ecosystem. Right? GLW, AXTI, VIAV. Very, very, very bullish charts. Right? Everything's in uptrends. Everything is moving up. Right? In this sector. Do we guys know? Do we know the sympathies to these stocks or no? Marvel, yeah. Other ones. You have Poet, yes. Yeah, so Achilles is on it, man. I want the to know. You're not a student, my guy. That's what I'm gonna tell you, right? So we have MRVL, we have AAOI, you have LITE, you have COHR, you have give me a second. You have hold on. Oh. I'm giving you guys all of them right now. Hold on. I'm giving you guys all of them right now. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, this is it. These are all stocks that everyone should have them on their watch list. And guys, people in the quiz in the audience, if you guys don't have these, you are behind. Your watch list should not be AMD, Apple, Amazon, Netflix. It should be, yeah, absolutely. But you need to know what is trending. Look at this. Are you bearish on? Are you trying to short charts like this? Seriously, are you gonna be trying to short charts like this or no? Are we trying to short? These are daily charts. These are daily charts, guys. Look at this. Are we trying to short stocks like this? We're not short in general. There's no reason to be short right now, right? I understand. Yes, the market, like something can happen, whatever. But listen, every dip is being bought right now. When every dip is bought right now, you fight that. You take your shots until it stops working. Now, when it stops working, you'll know when it stops working. All right. Just on a side note, like look at SPY. Look at this. Every dip is a buy. No. Every red can't buy. Buy. Every dip buy. What? There's no reason to be short right now. Just on MU on Friday, it was a buy. Every dip was a buy, guys. In this market, it's a buy the dip market. These trending markets to where nobody wants to, and this is what nobody says. Nobody wants to believe it. There's so much. The war's not over. There's still a bunch of like tensions in the Middle East, right? We're at all-time highs. Don't trend. Like I'm not gonna say don't care about what's going on, but like care about what's the screen is. Trend is up. Play the trend. Maybe we have, and maybe something happens tomorrow and the market goes down 2-3%, 4%. It's gonna happen. We're extended. Absolutely, everything can happen. But what I'm saying is overall, in the last few weeks, if you had a bearish bias and you refused to go long, look at what you missed out on. And after months of sitting in chop, right? I'd say what's that? October. That's 7 months. 7 months of chop, and we're starting to see some direction, right? Look. What does this remind you of? What does this chart remind you of? What does this chart remind you of? Look at how it looks. Hold on, hold on. Naked. Look at this. We just broke all-time highs. Look at this. Look at what happened last year, all right? Hold on. Look at this. What does this look like, guys? This is SPY. Hold on. Let me put this on the whole screen because this is SPY, guys. This is SPY. What does this look like? So look, like telling me that you're going short here is like this. It's like going short there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's easy to think we're going to dump. Market needs to pull back. It's SPY, guys. This is the overall market. If things are, which there are so many things that are beat down. If the market starts bouncing, right, and hold on, just to go to the market watch, we see on S&P 500, we start bouncing. The Dow Jones start pushing to an all-time high. That's UNH. That's Lilly. Lilly's lagging. Lilly's on 900 right now. It was all-time highs at like 1100, right? It has a lot of room back up. If things, energy stocks, if they start moving, right, CEG, there's a lot of stocks that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. If consumer staples go, if Costco starts to break out and break higher, these are all things that the market can continue to push up on. And there are a lot of things that are still under their highs and that can start to get back into trends. So if that starts to happen, market's just going to keep melting up at 720 and then 730, then 740 and then 750. Then maybe we pull back to 730 and then we maybe go back up to 750 and then go back to 730 and then go back to 750, 760, 770. Who knows? Who knows? But it's exactly like, look at what happened, right? We pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pulled back. Once top, it was sitting in this area, right? Since October until April, we came down, right? We tested 630, and right. So now on spot. The reasons why we are looking long. There's no reason to be short right now. If you're looking short in the market, you're stupid. Respectfully. All right. So these three stocks have earnings this week. VIAV. These are all the optical and photonic stocks. Optical and photonic. Write this down. Put these on your watch list, guys. Right? And title it. Maybe title your watch list optical and photonic names. If you can on TradingView, you can have multiple different watch lists. Put these stocks all into one. Look every morning. Are they green or are they red? On the red days, look at if they're pulling back to key supports. Maybe you can get a nice entry. And if they're green of the day, then look for the momentum and maybe you could scalp and trade some. Great to watch list. Don't be lazy. So with that being said, all of these three names have earnings. Now let's go look at the sympathies real quick. And I'm going to show you guys. There's a lot of opportunity in this market. Look at Light. Look at LITE. Look at this daily flag. Right now, premium is very expensive on a stock like this. But now, okay, MRVL already ripped up so much. Right, already ripped up so much. Low-key, this is the market. It's already up, so you're not gonna short this, but gonna be more cautious on this, correct? Because it's not this. Oh, okay. This back just had a very monster day on Friday, and on top of that, look at the volume. Nice increased volume compared to the previous days. Very nice. Green flag. Still hasn't broken highs. If it's over 165, you can target that 173. You have $8 trade in front of you until that next major resistance, 170, 173, 173 major. $8 trade if we get over 165. Big watch. Watching this during the week. No earnings this week on AAOI, but the sympathy names do. Watching AAOI this week over 165. LITE. If this gets over 900, you have a huge trade. Likely going to go 60 points if you can get a close over 900. Expensive premium. Maybe look at 1,000 calls. Who knows? Going to be watching these though. COHR. This one pulled back. Where's my EMA clouds? Boom, right? Broke out of a flag here, pushed up, pulled back to the clouds. I mean, come on, look at this. What does it mean right here? This is what we want to see. Push up in the cloud test, right? Do you understand? Do we understand? Oh my god. So COHR, very nice chart on COHR daily. Very nice chart on AOI, holding the cloud, hit the cloud and pushing up, right? Hey, yo, what?
Crazy, man.
Yo, you see, he's lucky he's Donnie and Meow's friend, so he would have just got banned on that. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit, gang. Yo, chill, Donnie, weird ass boy. All right, COHR. I mean, look at this, beautiful cloud test and bounce on AOI and here on LT. Look at CEIN and CEIN. Oh, CIEN. Pardon me. IEN. I mean, look at this. Straight up. You're not shorting this up here, right? This one, like, maybe not for too much more on this. I mean, maybe it absolutely rips. Who knows? But strength. It's just showing you strength. CRDO. This is another one that has a lot of room still. Like, look at this huge, massive uptrend. Has a high at that 213. Now, there's a similar pattern here. What's the similar pattern, Rich? Similar pattern. I don't know what you're talking about, Rich. Guys, look. All right, this is CRDO. Let's take a look at the names that have earnings. Look at GLW. All right, look at this. What's the pattern here? Cup and at all-time highs. Does it break higher and rip to 200? Look at this. This is in the cup and handle, but we're approaching that all-time high. Look at Light approaching the all-time high. AOI approaching the all-time high. Everything is at all-time highs. If the earnings are good and the guidance is good, all of this whole sector can rip. All these market caps are super low compared to AMD, compared to Avgo. These names can have big moves. You can see $10, $20, $30 rips on these. What other names that have AXTI? What's this stock doing? This one has earnings as well. Just made a new all-time high, pulled back to the cloud, right? Down 15 from the all-time high. Does it push back up into the all-time high? If the earnings are good, all of these can go. So the optical and the photonic names are going to be on big watch. Semis, chips, and anything AI in the AI ecosystem is ripping right now. Another one that I'm going to give you guys. There's many. ASML looks ready, guys. It looks ready. Hold on. Look at this. I mean, hold on. My chart looks. Listen, don't mind the little crayon drawings on my chart, but listen, we have a nice cup and handle here on ASML. Now, ASML is a expensive and spready stock, but it is a very, very, very yo, you guys are wild in the chat. But it is a very big mover when it has days, huge days. Yeah, if this breaks out 1500, 1600, if it breaks out of highs, 1600 could be very realistic, guys. And now ASML, one of the biggest companies in the AI it's one of the most essential companies in the AI ecosystem. So as NVIDIA of highs, we can continue pushing on all of the AI ecosystem names: Avgo, ASML, AMAT, LRC, AMD. AMD can continue. AMD has a lot to catch up on to even be close to Avgo's. Guys, so much to watch out for. Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. Amazon came with some. All right, pause. Amazon has been pushing up some force lately, guys. Amazon came back up all the way to all-time highs with a mission, right? With a statement. That shit said, "Don't count me out, boy." Look at this. All-time highs were after being such a shit stock for 2026, right? Or just a shittier stock for 2025. I mean, just super strong to start off 2026. Microsoft has lagging PE, so much room up, so much on this, plain and simple, so much room up. 130 points from all-time highs. This, maybe not, maybe not. Are gonna be huge. This can rip the market. Microsoft is one of the names in the Nasdaq, and it's 130 time highs. Imagine it gets back high. What's QQQ going to be at? Huge. Amazon, if it keeps pushing this one has a lot of room. This is another one that's been this 1 year kind of consolidation between, and we're finally getting a close over new all-time high. Could it continue? Yeah, maybe 100. Maybe it's 300. Meta, same thing. Meta's huge name. Still from all-time highs. Same deal. Be short on these names. Google, right here from all-time high. Hold on. Another huge name. Is this going to break all-time highs? Looks like it's going to smack through all-time highs, guys. Going to be short up here? No. Not going to lot of the earnings, but gonna watch, guys. Gonna watch. Don't really got too much else to say. Session. I'm going to be live, and so look over then. Going to be a light week. Going to be taking some shots this week for sure, but going to be a lot. Going to take a lot. Going to take a lot more shots, but light size. And are you free to edit right now? Hello.
Yeah, right after I post this class, should be good, done within like 5 minutes.
Don't worry. And I'll let y'all know. The video is number 1. AEO is next. And MSTR. Exactly what you just posted. MSTR was the next. Was the other one.
I mean, I'll run charts, but I think I should get this class posted. I mean, you guys have the explanation there on coin and MSTR, looking very, very 4 hours bouncing. Coin reclaiming 200, 202. If we can get over 210, that would be nice. Then there's our levels at 212 and then
Bro, Bitcoin gets over 80K, all of them are gonna run.
Yeah, all of them are gonna run. I feel like they're gonna run with all the. I think like it's gonna be super bullish at the beginning of the week. So definitely something on our radar, guys.
The thing is, crypto related has earnings, so
yeah,
all that volume that's gonna be out and sitting on the sidelines of all the earnings be in my seed in coin and crypto. Who knows? If we break out at 80K, I have my alert set. Then MSTR and coin and all this. Another one. If it holds 100 right here and breaks out, it could be huge. A lot of stuff to talk, man. I'm gonna get on pre-market early tomorrow. I keep saying that, but I'm actually gonna do it tomorrow. So let's get this class out. Let me get this video out, and bro, you class, dog.
Bet. No, nothing else. We'll end it with a little prayer. If any questions before we get here, going to be on YouTube, right? Yes, we're going to be posting this video on YouTube. Should be out in the next 30 minutes, guys, right? 30 minutes after this class ends, the video should be posted and ready for you guys to go back, analyze, get all those watch lists, intake all the information, digest it, and have a actual plan for the week, right? Come to this week prepared, guys. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be dropping, a lot of news, a lot of earnings, just an overall jam-packed week. So it's very important to know what's going on. to have confidence in the trades that you're taking, right? Let's say you hop into one of our calls, you turn off our trades, and you have no idea why we're getting in. You probably shouldn't be taking that trade, right? You should be understanding the thesis and the story behind it, right? So lock in, guys. Look at that class afterwards. If there's no questions, we'll just get right into prayer, guys. Drop them in there. Drop them in there. Bro, hit them with the thesis. Hello. You already know, man. Got to. Nobody has any questions, I'll get right into prayer, guys. And we'll get this video uploaded. Let me get right into it then. Dear Heavenly Father, I'd just like to thank you so much for having such a coordinated team here between the ARC analyst, me and Rich, and just the whole team, the whole moving coordination, making sure that we understand what's happening for this upcoming week, preparing our brains with the knowledge that we need to be able to walk through it clearly, Lord. I just ask you to be there every step of the way, guiding us and giving us the patience and the confidence in the plays that we take, Lord. May there be no doubt in our heart, because we know the one that doubts shouldn't expect anything from the Lord. The one who's double-minded, lives on the fence, and we know who owns the fence. So I just ask you, Lord, to guide us. And for anyone who's going through anything, just heal them and just show them that you're there for them. Give them that fulfillment that they need. I also just ask you to make sure that everyone gets the rest tonight that they need to be able to go forward into this with a lot of energy. Make sure that everyone wakes up early, is prepared, and yeah, in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Hello. Let's get it, guys.